I am sure sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know the game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Yellow, the final one for the day. It is, people, welcome to I Am Sure Sports. This is your host, Maninsman, on this Friday evening. The final one it is. Let me see if I can get some more of this fancy lighting thing we have here going. Yeah, nice. Let's see if we can get this one going as well. I don't know, just trying some new stuff. Nice. All right. Whoa, shine like a glass. Whoa. Welcome. Shalom, sir. Peace be unto you. Love for the love. King Jav, Peso, all the people, welcome to the show. It is the EPL show. It's going to be a big one. We're going to discuss some very tough topics today. So all the EPL fans, please jump on to the platform quickly. Let's get it going. Also, just want to remind you that it is Super Friday. Yes, Super Friday. And guess what? We have on Super Friday only 6 more. Listen, we only need 6 more super chats or super stickers to make the day. Yes, 6 more. And so we got 4 from our earlier shows. So if you're on, you can join by supporting the platform by giving a super chat, a super sticker. We need 6 more. It's right beside the comment section. Yeah, so right where you make a comment, it's right there. You can go ahead and those living in North America, because it's not local in Jamaica. But welcome to everyone on the platform. I am Maninsman. We will have with us the one they call Cranky, the other Maninsman. We're also going to pin the link so you can come on when we are discussing your team. You can expect man like One Danan, man like Fresh Garden, man like Peso, all the people there coming on to talk about their teams. It won't be a long show. We are only going to be an hour strong, and we are only going to be an hour long. You can also call in. Our call-in lines are also open. You can call in and make your points be known on I Am Sure Sports, the EPL edition, English Premier League. We are going to be discussing. There we go. All right. So let's get ready, right? So let me give you some score that I got, some final scores in Manning Cup action. Is that Excelsior were knocked out today by Haile Selassie High. They ended 1-1, which gave Haile Selassie a 2-1 aggregate win. All right, Charlie Smith. They defeated Campion College by 2 goals to 0, so they end up winning that tie by 3 goals to 1. Mona also advanced. They won 3-1, meaning they've defeated Tivoli Gardens by 5 goals to 1. All right. And I'm waiting on the final results of the stats versus St. Jago game, because Stats went into that one leading by 2 goals to 1. We have with us the Arsenal man who goes by the name Stan Cranky. Welcome.
Mannings, man, good night. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. How was your day today, my friend?
My day was busy, but it's basically almost over. When I'm done here, I go sit down and watch my Knicks second half of the Knicks game, so can enjoy me some basketball.
Listen, something is wrong, right? So we need to change some teams, because I support Arsenal, you support Arsenal. I support Knicks, you support Knicks. I suppose you're supporting the Giants as well, because I support the Giants. There you go. So there is some problems right here. You need to go over to the Jersey side. All right.
I'm a New Yorker. You know the Giants play in New Jersey. And you know what? I used to live across the street from the Nets, when they moved to Brooklyn.
Yeah, when they moved to,
I moved, down. They were downtown Brooklyn. I used to live across the street from them.
But Madison Square Garden is right in the heart of New York, really.
Yeah, but the Nets are in Brooklyn, so they're by the Barclays Center, which was around the corner from where I lived. But I only went to like 1 or 2 Nets games. I didn't really go to the Nets game. I'm not a Nets fan, actually.
Okay. All right, cool. Even from before, when they were like the original Brooklyn team, when Jason Kidd and Kenyon Martin, those guys were there.
But they were in Brooklyn then. They came to Brooklyn.
They were New Jersey Nets. They were New Jersey
Nets, exactly.
Yeah. Cool. But the Giants are doing well, though. I think they are 5-1, 6-1. I think.
Yeah, we're playing well, but we're not dominating. So.
Yeah, well, you know what? Most of these games, they are coming from behind in the third and fourth quarter. But the quarterback, Damian Jones, is, I don't know. I don't trust him.
He's paying for a contract. So we see what happens.
Yeah.
He's paying for a contract.
And
his contract year, you do really well, you get paid a lot of money. So.
And Barkley's doing well as well. I mean, yes. So.
Yes, Barkley's doing well. He's doing well. Defense playing okay. So they're doing okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're not here to talk about no NFL. Are you worried about your Kingston College tomorrow? They are going into a 0-0 tie against Jose Marte, and they need to win the game to advance. Are you concerned?
Is that a rhetorical question? I'm not sure why. Why would I be?
I said your Kingston College. That's
but the question I'll ask you is this: is that you've seen both teams play? Would you be worried?
I've seen, to be honest,
if you were me,
I've seen Kingston College play. I've not really seen Jose Marte.
That probably says it all. Also, there's a reason why you haven't seen them. No, we're not worried. You have these aberrations that occur, and things normalize, and we're going to normalize it tomorrow.
Okay. All right, we shall see. But I do expect KC to advance.
We have bigger fish to fry. All
right. We will see. Yeah, but tough day for the Arsenal in Europa competition yesterday. They lost for the first time in like 11 away games. This is the first loss that they have had in Europe. So they lost by 2-0 to, could have probably gone down by around 5, because there were 2 goals that were called back for offside as well. The team, just look lackluster, too many changes. I don't know. How do you feel about that Arsenal performance yesterday?
It's not just yesterday. We have scored 4 goals in the last 5 games. Let me repeat that. 4 goals in 5 games for a team leading the Premier League in the last 5 games is not a good omen. And not like we're playing the better teams. Leeds dominated us after the first 20 minutes. PSV, as you say, could have scored 4 or 5. We played okay against Southampton, but didn't take our chances. But didn't create enough chances in the second half. So if you look at the last 5 games we played, and as I said, without playing any dominating team subsequent to the Liverpool game, we haven't been playing well. I've always said this, which is I'm pretty comfortable with my midfield and my defense, but I'm not comfortable with my top 4 players, the kids up top. They're not prolific goal scorers, nor are they scorers of great goals. And that becomes a problem. If you look at all 4 of them, Odegaard is a hit and miss in terms of scoring. Hasn't played well in the last 4 games, or 3.5 games. Saka, everybody raves about. He's a good player, but he's not a prolific goal scorer. Now does he take a ball and put it in the top corner? You never see that happen from Saka. One he scored was right foot. He has no right foot. Martinelli is hit and miss. And Jesus hasn't scored in his last 4 games. So it's not a pretty picture.
Yeah.
My hope is that Nottingham Forest will give him some breather and we get some of our mojo back. But I'm not feeling that sense of enthusiasm I felt in the first 9-8 games, frankly.
Okay, and then you have Manchester United, who just keep scoring goals. I mean, because they keep scoring 3 goals and 4 goals and all of that. With all their challenges, they seem to be on the bounce, on the rise.
Until they play City and then they come back to earth. But no, they have a lot of offensive power. We've always known that. They spend a lot of money, man. I mean, Anthony and Fernandez and Rashford, lesser so Sanchez. Those are all either expensive players or players with a lot of acclaim. Rashford grew up in the academy. And you have Casemiro, who's won them in Champions League. They have a lot of players in the money. Fred is a Brazilian international. You have Ericsson, who hasn't played. Fernandez. I mean, they have a lot of players. Yeah. Martinez in the defense has helped them out quite a bit, even though he was criticized for a short stature. But it's showing that, it's not really size alone that plays football. You have to have the capability and the skill set and physicality, especially in the Premier League. And he fits in. And De Gea is keeping okay. So, I mean, Varane got a little bit hurt, but to me, I don't think Varane hasn't playing that great anyway. And Shaw's come back and Dalot. So they have a decent team. They spent, the second most money, I think, in the league after the last 5-6 years. So they spent a lot of money. So they should have a good team. And they do. We've spent a lot. West Ham has spent a lot. Chelsea has spent a lot. So those teams should be where they are, actually. And Newcastle, more recently, has spent some money. Even though people think they haven't, but they have. So the people who spend the money are the ones who are in a better position. Yeah.
And given I mean, what we're seeing is that it looks from all indication that all 4 English, Tottenham have a tricky game because they have to go to Marseille and win. Because if they lose that game, they could end up, depending on how bad they lose, they could even end up being out of Europe completely.
And that would be good. That'd be good.
They could end up in 4th if the team on 6 points ties. It pushed one of the 7th place team on 8. So the 2 teams are playing. One is on 6, one is on 7. And then Tottenham plays one of the teams on 7 points, Marseille. If Marseille beats them, they go to 9, which means they qualify. And the other teams that play in that zone, one will go to 7, come to 7 with Tottenham, and then one would go to 8, which means those 2 would go through first place. So Tottenham would be tied, and I think goal difference, depending on how bad they lose to Marseille, could put them into 4th. But Liverpool are through, United, City, Arsenal are through as well. Chelsea are through as well. So the English team, we see the Spanish teams, a couple of them struggled. The German team struggled. Is this speaking about the quality of the English league? No. They may not go on to win, but more of the English team go through from the European competition, at least into the round of 16 and onward.
The people with the most money do the best. That's a fact. So look at all the teams and their spend and their resources. Germany is Bayern. Spain is Barca and Madrid. Barca have financial problem. Madrid is still there. Has won how many Champions League of late? If you go to UK, it's the top 6 team and not the top 17. Look at Juventus, financially challenged, not doing well. Milan, owned by an American owner, doing okay, but not necessarily hitting the ball at the cover. PSG, North African money, doing well. So it's money. Think about it. All the teams that has a significant amount of resources are the ones who are doing the best, and the Premier League has the most resources.
Does Aston Villa have an American owner as well?
Yes, they do, and they're very rich, by the way.
I realize
private equity funds. Yeah, Aston Villa. A lot of teams now are American owners, right?
Leeds have American owners as well.
Leeds American owner.
Tottenham is American owners as well, because it's not Levy.
I don't think so. Tottenham.
Yeah, man.
Not. I'm not sure. I don't think it's American now. I wasn't aware that Tottenham was American. I thought.
Yeah, I think it's American owners that run Tottenham. Yeah, with Levy.
I know West Ham is British and Czech. So I think about the top four. United's American, Arsenal, Aston Villa,
Liverpool.
Leeds,
Liverpool,
yes, Liverpool also. So it's an American owned league, so because Americans go where the money is located. I don't think Tottenham was American owned.
Check it. I'm certain that somebody in the ownership of Tottenham or somebody who have a lot of shares is American.
Well, they may have shares. I'm not sure they're majority owner. It's not Levy's not the majority owner. Levy is the front.
Yeah,
there's somebody behind Levy.
Yeah. Okay.
Just like at West Ham, where they have a Czech person coming with a billionaire who bought into the team, but it's a British ownership for West Ham. I think the Czech person may be taking it over eventually.
All right. For the local fans, though, as we scoot over into the Premier League, just wanted to know that there will be an EPL game on TV in tomorrow. I think the Aston Villa Newcastle game will be broadcast in Jamaica. So you will see that game. But Cranky, the first game in the morning is Leicester City at home to Manchester City. Leicester scores a lot of goals. I'm telling you. They keep scoring 4-4 against, what you call some of the lesser teams. Yeah, what are your takes on this game? Is it an easy win for Manchester City, or can Leicester upstage them at home with their attacking powers, having City just come back from their playing Europe, and then normally when they struggled in Europe last season, they came and dominated the Premier League. So do you expect that trend to continue as they take on Leicester? In Leicester.
Well, I think Haaland is probably injured, right? So they probably start the Argentinian up front. They should win. I predict they're going to win about 3-1. Leicester may score. But City suffocates you, right? It's not only offensively they suffocate you, they suffocate you defensively. But they're pressing and daring you to try to get behind them. And Daka may get behind. I know Madison's playing well, but I would expect City to win. I'll say 3-1 City.
City?
Yeah. And Leicester can't defend themselves, so that makes it difficult.
Listen, all right. So I don't know.
Can't defend themselves.
I just have this feeling that Leicester, for whatever reason, are coming back into their own. And I don't know. I'm going to pick a surprise result, right? Let me just give you. Leicester defeated Wolves by 4-0, right? Before that game, let me give you their next game. So they defeated Leeds by 2-0. Leeds that Arsenal struggled with. So that's 2 games in a row that they won.
And Leeds also won a game in 8 games. Keep going. we're not the barometer to judge how somebody's doing, but we have to play well the last 5 games.
They drew with Crystal Palace. All right. They lost to Bournemouth away. All right. And they defeated.
Say it again. Say it again. They lost to who?
Their last 5 games, 4-1.
Yeah.
They defeated Nottingham. 4-0. They defeated Nottingham Forest. They went away to Bournemouth and lost 2-1. All right. Fine. Bournemouth has surprised some teams, though. Then they drew with Crystal Palace. They defeated Leeds, and then they won again. So you're saying, given those results, it doesn't change the price of rice. They are losing to City.
Yeah, I think it's the same. How much did City beat Man U? What was it? What was the score of City Man U game? Was it about 6? And they called out the dog? Okay. Man City dominates the ball, which is what Leicester does well. So it's two teams who like to play football. And if you like to play football against Man City, you're going to lose.
Okay.
So
all right.
I'm going to say Man City 3-1.
All right. Then we see Brighton at home to Chelsea.
So I'm going to say Chelsea 2-1. Brighton, Danny Welbeck hasn't scored in 9-10 games, and he's the center forward. That tells you everything about Brighton.
What about Trossard, who has been linked with Chelsea, also seen being linked with Arsenal? Could this be a game for him to impress? It's also Potter going back to the Brighton fans to go up against them, Cucurella as well. Is there something that this Brighton team needs to prove to their former coach that, hey, you should not have left us?
Well, they haven't won since he left. And he hasn't lost since he left. So I'm not sure he made a bad decision, right? I mean, if you haven't lost and they can't win without you, and you go to a better team making more money, it can't be a bad decision. No, I think Brighton's problem is they can't score goals. They're a very good team. They keep the ball well. They can't score goals. Fresh
God is agreeing with me that Trossard will score. You know what is so funny about this Brighton team? A couple of seasons ago, every team, a lot of teams are hot on the heels of Lamptey. And he can't even get into the starting team.
I'm not sure what happened. He was injured for a while. Obviously, he came back. And you're right. Because they only see him as a wing back. I think his height and physicality doesn't lend itself to a traditional right back position. And maybe that's what it is. And I think, was it Veltman playing over there? Who's playing over there is doing well. So maybe that's what's keeping him out. But I'm surprised, given his offensive prowess, that he hasn't got more game time. Because we were looking at him at one point, actually.
Yeah. Listen, I just don't trust this Chelsea team. I don't think they can score a lot of goals right now.
They're doing well in the Champions League. They're doing well since the new coach took over. So I don't know how you can say they haven't. Against a Brighton team, which started off really well. Brighton was in the top 4 at one point. They've been falling back regularly. So.
All right, Chelsea drew 1-1 with Manchester United. All right, that's a tough game. All right, so
and they should have won that game, by the way. Man U scored in the last minute.
Right,
Man U dominated for a section of the game when he made a change to get rid of Cucurella and went to what, a back 4.
Right,
it showed you he has in-game management, which we don't do. He changed the game.
Yeah. Before that, they drew 0-0 with Brentford.
Right.
All right, they defeated a poor Aston Villa by 2-0.
And Aston Villa could have won that game too, but Keeper made a lot of good saves, actually.
Yeah, but I don't know. But let's see what will happen. Then Newcastle host Unai Emery and his Aston Villa team. First game for Unai
Emery. No, he won't be the coach for that game. He's on the sideline.
He's on the sideline.
He takes over. Yeah, he's taking over the subsequent game. But
Aston Villa just won. Gerrard left. They won easily in their last game.
So I'm gonna say Newcastle 3-1. I think Newcastle is a concern for the top 6 teams. Newcastle has all adults on their team. They have no kids on their team, like we do, by the way. All grown-ups, physical, big, tall, technical, and they don't even have Isaac or St. Maximum, and they're still playing well without those 2 people.
So you think that Aston Villa 4-0 win over Brentford is a fluke? That they can't go there with the quality?
Playing Newcastle. Newcastle has the best goal against average in the league, don't they?
But what about
the best, one of the best. I think they're probably the best. So you can't score on them.
Yeah.
And they can score on you. So you should win. If they can't score on you and you can score on them, they should win.
Okay.
Almiron is playing as if he's being reborn after Grealish digged him out. He's playing brilliantly. What's his name is trying to go to the World Cup. The center forward is trying to get to the World Cup. Wilson.
Callum Wilson.
Callum Wilson trying to get to the World Cup, and he's playing brilliantly. Joe Linton may play out wide or he may play in the middle, but wherever he plays, he's been dominant. Yeah. So you look at the team, look at the midfield with Gumaraj, Willock playing well. You have a lot of good players in that team, and the defense is stacked. Botman, along with Trippier playing out right. I mean, the defense is stacked. So it's a hard team to beat. And they have Shelby coming off the bench now. They're a good team. The bench is not the strongest because Isak is not available, but they have adults, as I said, no kids, all grown-ups.
And Saint Maximin is still out injured.
And Pope is keeping well. Saint Maximin hasn't played in a number of games. He came on for one game and seemed to have injured himself. They play like they have missed him because Almiron is scoring goals. That's the difference. He's always been one of the hardest worker in the league. I think between him and probably Martinelli as wingers in terms of their work rate is phenomenal. And Jesus as a forward, but he wasn't scoring goals for what? He's been in this 2019, 2018. He wasn't scoring goals, but now he's scoring goals. Makes a big difference.
Yeah, he's in very good form. That's right, KS Sports TV. All right, then our next 9 o'clock game, we'll see Tottenham going up against. I'm going down the south coast to play Bournemouth. What are your thoughts on that game? Conte has started his complaining and arguing and ranting and raving and cussing out everybody and whose fault it is. And official, I think he was very disappointed in that goal that was called back in their last game. What are your thoughts on this game? Bournemouth can be a very difficult team to play against, especially when they are playing at home. Give me your thoughts on this game, Cranky.
I'd probably say Tottenham 2-1. I think they have to bounce back. They've been having a tough time. I think their midfield is lacking. Basuma has not delivered as expected. There are suspects on the wings in terms of the defense. But I think between Son and Kane, they should win this game. They should win 2-1. But Bournemouth has been playing better, right? Since we played them and destroyed their home. They've been resilient, but Harry Kane always seemed to find a way to put the ball in the net. So I see that Son is not re-signing with them. Well, I think between Harry Kane and Son, there's that question, which is if you're not going to win stuff, we may have to figure out where we are come end of the year. And Conte hasn't signed yet, so they're probably waiting for Conte to sign before they make a decision.
Oh, and then I know that Kane contract runs out in 24, which is like next.
But then he's gonna be like 31, getting a little bit up there. Bayern wants him. He may decide to go to Bayern. He wins something at Bayern. He guarantee a trophy. Guarantee the Bundesliga. He's go to Bayern. He wins something because he can't win anything at Tottenham.
If Son becomes available, do you take him at Arsenal? Or
yes,
too
without
old?
a doubt.
Okay.
No, without a doubt, I'll take him. He's better than my two wingers.
Okay.
He's a quality player.
I hear rumors that Manchester United may be looking to break the bank to bring Harry Kane in January.
And that's not going to happen. There's no way Harry Kane leaves Spurs, who are competing, to go to Man U. Now, unless Man U give it 200 mil, even then, Levy will be reluctant to do so because he wants to still. You got to think about it, no man's man. What do I lose by giving up Kane versus what I gain? I gain 150 mil for a 30-year-old, 100 mil. I reinvest in the Champions League. If I stay in the Champions League, that's probably guaranteed 80, 90 mil. And then whatever else comes with that, I don't think he's going to sell Kane.
Okay. All right. Then we see Crystal Palace at home to Southampton. Crystal Palace has been on a slow decline. I think
their problem is their midfield. I think they lost, what's his name? The core didn't play the last game, did he? They need that stability in the midfield to be able to supply Eze and Zaha, Elise and others with the ball. I'm going to say Palace 2-1. We should have beaten Southampton. They didn't impress me that much. We just not playing well. We should have beaten them.
Okay.
So I'm going to say Crystal Palace 2-1.
And I hear that Eze is being called into some squad for the World Cup, like this first group of players for Southgate to kind of begin to pay attention to Eze. He's in that group.
Well, he was going to call him before he tore his Achilles way back when, over a year ago. He was going to call him actually because, man, you know this. They're trying to tie up every single player who has English nationality to make sure they can't play for another country. There's a 53-man squad you had to submit last week. And so there's a bunch of players who be in that squad, which are going to be narrowed down. So he may be in the initial squad. He won't make the final 20, whatever the number is, 25, 27. He won't make that. But he'll be in the 53, and he'll feel good about it, that he has a chance to get to England at some point. which would preclude him, or they make him wait for England like Tony's doing, versus get tied by whatever country that. Where is he from? Is it Nigeria or is it Ghana? One of those countries.
Yeah. I see Fresh
Or his
God
lineage
saying,
anyway, not where he's from.
yeah, Fresh God saying, no, the rumors about Harry Kane to Manchester United are rumors for sure. And then KS Sports TV says, Levy, I go want the same amount that he wanted when City was going in for Harry Kane. And then Fresh God
That was
says,
2 years ago. He's 2 years older.
Fresh God says, Manchester United looking at Gakpo and Sesko. I don't know.
I watched Gakpo play 2 games against us. I wasn't impressed.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I think the guy called Simon, who they got from PSG and a free transfer over the summer, gave more problems to the Arsenal team. But I don't even know where he plays. He looked like
he plays center forward, actually. He plays forward.
Yeah.
He was playing forward in that game against us.
Yes, but I don't know. I don't think Gakpo is impressive. I must be missing something.
I wasn't overly impressed with Gakpo. Actually.
And he offside. He doesn't time his runs properly. And I've watched PSV in a couple of games. He doesn't. Yeah. I don't know. I don't.
There's a lot of goals and assists, but it's a Dutch league, right? It's not.
Yeah, I don't think that is a player that would come into Arsenal and solve their problems.
No, the kid from the Ukraine is the one. Even though they're pricing him out of a range, they're not pricing him at like 100 mil. But I forgot his name. But he
yes.
But who plays? He plays for the.
They call him the Ukrainian Neymar.
Yeah, and he's been scoring in the Champions League too, so he's increased his value. But I think he's probably out of our price range.
Yeah.
But we need wing support. We don't. Nelson is not being viewed well. Marquinhos is not being viewed well. We need wing support. We need quality on the wings. Because Saka and Martinelli are not doing it for me.
Okay. Yeah. Listen, I don't know. Martinelli is a very hardworking, up and down, but sometimes he reminds me so much of a young Theo Walcott.
No, he doesn't remind me of Theo Walcott. Because Theo couldn't dribble. And Theo was a finisher. You don't realize. And Theo was quick and get behind defense. Martinelli is not like Theo. Theo couldn't play football. He was just quick and could score. No, he was a dangerous player because you push the ball and there's a race and he could finish really well. But Theo couldn't beat him. And Martinelli, and Theo made better decisions than Martinelli. Martinelli doesn't make good decisions. His head is always down. He doesn't view the field before he gets the ball. He's a good dribbler, but his decision making is poor. And he's not a great finisher. Theo was a very good finisher. In fact, if you look at Theo's stats, at one point, because I did the analysis, Theo's stats were better than Ryan Giggs in terms of goals scored at one point. Since he went to Southampton and Everton, it probably petered out. But his stats were excellent. He was 1 in 3 at one point. He was a 1 in 3 player, which is excellent for a winger.
Yeah. And then Xavi Simons, that's the name of the player baller. He just unfortunate at the wrong team, PSG. Well, now he's at PSV and he's doing well.
He substituted V for the G, yeah?
The youth named Edwards, who scored against Spurs, is going places. Oh, that is a guy at Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah, he's a guy that came from Spurs with Jamaican lineage.
Marcus Edwards.
Yeah, he came from Spurs. He was a Spurs player.
Yeah. Marcus.
I think he had Jamaican background because I think someone mentioned him. That's what I heard anyway. I don't know the specifics.
Yeah.
But then who's of African descent born in England? Unless they just recently came from Africa, who's not Jamaican background. Most of them. Who play football seem to be.
And then you have Brentford versus Wolves.
I'm going to say Brentford 2-1. Wolves can't score goals. At some point, David Costa has to start putting the ball in the net. He's playing okay. But Brentford should recover and should win that game.
All right. So Brentford. Fulham versus Everton. One of the late games.
I want to say Everton 2-1. I have watched Everton almost all of Everton game. They haven't played a bad game all season, frankly. They've been very unlucky. They haven't had the goal scoring. Now that their big center forward is back, I expect him to produce, especially in the air. Their wingers are playing good. Their midfield is very good, especially my new Terminator in there, Iwobi, who's playing. They have a very good midfield between Ghana and Iwobi and Onana. It's a very good midfield. One of the better ones in the Premier League, frankly. Athletic, cover a lot of space, can keep the ball. They're a good team. And the defense has improved significantly. So it's just they need goal scoring. Gray's not been scoring goals, even though he's playing well. And Gordon, I think, is a little bit overrated. He's very young. But I expect Calvert-Lewin to be doing really well and start scoring goals like he did last game.
Because I think he's trying to get into this World Cup team. I just figure that if he keeps on scoring leading up to for the next couple of games, that just puts Ivan Toney right out the squad completely.
I think Calvert-Lewin and Calvert-Lewin and Callum Wilson, I think, are most guaranteed to go if they keep scoring and playing, and they're fit.
Would you take Calvert-Lewin at Arsenal as an option?
Not to be my starter, not as my starter.
You gonna start him over Gabriel? Jesus.
Nah, Gabriel is a brilliant footballer. He just needs to put the ball in the net more. So if you put Gabriel on the right, and it's going to be controversial, and Saka and Martinelli shares the next wing, and he plays in it, yes, I would do that. I could play him in the middle with Gabriel playing on the right, and Saka and Martinelli play on the left. They share the game time there.
I think he's a good option for Arsenal. Give the next dimension because he's very good aerially. Though Gabriel can win some of those balls in the air, I don't think he wins a lot of headers in the box. So we don't put in a lot of squares in the air. It's normally cutbacks and stuff. So I think that's the next way we can attack. And then you can always put Gabriel Jesus down the middle and stuff. I think it's one of the ways we can probably adjust.
You know what's interesting, Mannings, man? I've been thinking of late, which is coaches are very rigid in their approach. To me, they're not the most strategic or not the most creative sometimes. So, for example, I go see Jesus as a 10, Mannings, man. He plays like a 10, frankly. He has all the 10 attributes. He can make an incisive pass. He can hold the ball up. He can beat a man. He's good in the pocket. He's good in the holes. He turns on defenders. Why wouldn't you try him as a 10 once in a while? And a Calvert-Lewin, as you said, if you're a big center forward, can play up top. Just like I thought Pepe could play in the hole, actually. And not be, because those players need to touch the ball a lot also. When you're on the wing, you're at the mercy of your midfielders or your right or left back getting you the ball. When you're in the middle, there's a lot of balls you're going to get. Can you keep it and play in tight spaces? And I think some players with that skill set can do that. So I do think I could see Jesus as a 10. Man City didn't use a 10, frankly. And frankly, I don't know why we're using a 10 either, because we want to play Odegaard. But Odegaard, to me, has been really poor of late. He's not athletic. He's good in the hole. But unless you have a lot of balls going into him, his game is deficient, frankly.
Yeah. I just think Arsenal has been too one-dimensional in terms of how we try to score goals. And you need other options.
Man, whenever you see an Arsenal winger pick a ball up, like you see Anthony does for Man U, cut inside and put in the top corner. Does Saka do that? Does Martinelli maybe once every 25 games? That's our problem, man. There's nothing out of the ordinary with our wingers put the ball in the net. And secondly, also, they don't take the ball and destroy people and score. We don't do that. We don't get behind defenses. For the last 4 or so games, people got behind us. And we play a high line. Liverpool got behind us. PSV got behind us. The last game we played against Southampton got behind us. We don't get behind defenses. Because we play the ball up slowly, we try to build up, but we have to, I just said, we have to be more creative about how we score goals.
Listen,
not be one-dimensional.
I don't know. There's a lot of things to observe, right? Like most of even Odegaard's passes are to the left. Somehow he, like how we had a Santi Cazorla, he could do passes to the left, to the right, centrally, everywhere. Odegaard predominantly, whatever creative play he's working on, it somehow goes to where when Gabriel Jesus goes to the left, Saka is over there to the right. To the right when Saka is over there and stuff. There is no, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Something, but I think Calvert-Lewin would be a good option for us in that box. Whenever we have scored headed goals, it has been from our defenders.
Jesus scored a header one of the games, a brilliant header one game, and he scored a header for Man City But you're right. We're not prolific because it's not a big forward line, right? Odegaard plays small. He doesn't play big, which is interesting given his height. He doesn't play big or physical. Saka is, as you know, has a small stature. Martinelli is not in the box. They don't even get in the box that much, man, to be scoring headers, unless it's on set plays, right? So it's very
and a lot of
interesting.
goals have been scored by Granit Xhaka.
And Xhaka has been scored two of the 4 goals he scored. Xhaka has scored.
Yeah.
So we're not scoring goals, and that's part of the problem. Because as I said, my wingers are young, and they're not prolific goal scorers.
The other thing is that I realize that Ben White plays on the right a whole lot better going forward than Tomiyasu. So he has this way of I think he has been doing better. So, but we're not at the Arsenal game yet. You know, I think we're talking about Everton and we somehow. But let me just say, people are saying Mitrovic is going to score tomorrow. He will not score against those. Like, I think a forward like him is ideal for the Everton with Tarkowski and Connor Cody. That's the kind of forward they like to play with. Those bustling, love to head the ball, long ball kind of forwards. He's not going to score on those. He like Tarkowski and Cody, Connor Cody, I think they struggle with forwards like Gabriel Jesus, all the movement and stuff like that. So I don't think Mitrovic score. I think Everton wins the game as well.
I mean, Everton doesn't give up a ton of goals. You know, they got 12 goals against.
Yeah.
If you look at most of the other teams, that's in the range people are. I think Newcastle has 10, so they're the best goal against team. So Everton's not going to get a lot of goals because the midfield is so good. They protect the back four, man, and the back four has improved significantly. If you think you have a good midfield that is going to cut off those lanes, a physical back four, they're hard to score against. They just can't score goals because, you know, what's his name they bought from Brighton is not a goal. Maupay is not a goal scorer. I don't know why you buy a player who's not a goal scorer. They were desperate because Calvin Lewis was out, but he's not a goal scorer. And Gray has been disappointing in terms of his goal production. And so has Gordon, frankly. So they're good players, but you need people to put the ball in the net.
Yeah. All right. Big up Damian Corodas. Bless up. This is a real Arsenal fan, you know. You understand me? At the supermarket there. Bless up yourself. Good to see you on the show. Finally, I get to see the comment, man. It's an easy win to Arsenal. We don't get there yet, but we'll get there shortly. Liverpool versus Leeds. Easy win for Liverpool?
Yeah, I think so. I think Leeds is struggling. They haven't won in 8 games. So even though they dominated us, frankly, they probably should have beaten us. Which tells you where we are, actually, even though we only lost 1 game in the league. I think Liverpool...
tired, cranky? Could it be? And
Manny's man. We don't score goals. Like I keep telling people for the last 4 years. So it is the management. We're dominant in preseason. We're scoring goals like crazy over the last 8 or 9 games. But Saka scored goal in bunches. Saka was 1 in... You know what? Before we go there, let's go to Liverpool Leeds and we can come there when we go to Nottingham Forest. Yeah. I think Liverpool will win 3-1 because, you know, Nunez is back and he's scoring goals. By the way, Nunez has more goals.
Hold on.
Than Jesus.
We need to talk to Demo. Demo came on this platform and was slighting Nunez the most. He wasn't happy up to recently with that signing. Demo, I need you to come and talk to me about Darwin Nunez.
Nunez has more goals than Jesus in half the time on the field.
Yeah.
He has 6, Jesus has 5, and he spent half the time on the field than Jesus does. So
he is a good striker.
Yeah,
and Liverpool struggling with some injuries up front too because they isn't Luis Diaz still out?
Diaz is out, yes. Probably out until after December, probably. He's gonna be out for a little while. Diaz out, Thiago was out. They have a lot of injuries. The Ox is back. I think Keita is back, and they're not playing Champions League, so those two probably will play more. So they're getting their people back.
Some person are saying Arsenal should get Naby Keita. I don't think so. I don't think...
To do what? Get him for what?
Yeah, because he can't play where Thomas Partey play. He's not that kind of...
We need a backup for Thomas Partey. Who we should have got, Mannings, man, was Guimaraes. Like, we missed out there because he's been brilliant for Newcastle. We don't want Naby Keita, who came from Germany with a big reputation, has not produced, is always injured. No, we don't want Naby Keita. We don't want that kid.
Yeah,
We need Savic.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that I would take the risk with even having him playing putting Xhaka to play Partey's position if Partey is injured and put Savage behind him, because I think he would give greater support to Granit in that position.
I am not putting Xhaka in my seat. Not putting Xhaka.
Listen, one thing
there's a reason why we're moving forward, man. There's a reason why we're moving upfield, because the further away from your goal.
I don't know. I just don't want to see Sambi Lakanga on my field. Honestly, I keep telling that guy don't tackle. He doesn't head the ball.
But he's not a CDM. It's unfair to the kid. He's not a CDM.
Kids,
they put him in CDM space because
he's 25.
He's about 23, 24, somewhere around there.
That's not a kid, man. Come on, man.
Well, yeah, he's a grown up now, but I'm saying he's not a CDM. They put him there because they have no one else to put there.
Yeah.
And next year we're going to bring in Patino. Patino is back next year. So he's been brilliant at Blackpool. So we're going to have another player vying for Xhaka's spot, frankly, next year.
Yeah. I don't think Leeds will score. I think before the season is done, this coach is getting fired.
Yes, I could see him getting fired, but I think Leeds will score one against Liverpool.
Okay.
I'm going to say 3-1. Liverpool defense is suspect.
Somebody
has been suspect all season.
What about Yuri as a backup for Thomas?
Yuri who?
Tielemans.
We don't want Tielemans. Tielemans is not a CDM either. Like, people are confusing the roles. Yuri's not. That's why they have Ndidi playing there. Yuri doesn't play defense. Yuri pretends he plays defense. Doesn't play defense.
You know what? I want to ask you. Looking at Besuma, are you glad? See how he looks at Spurs. Are you glad that you probably didn't buy him, because he's at a big club now. He looks ordinary.
He does look odd, but I think he wasn't playing. If you use a starting management week after week, he's probably pouting for the longest, and he's coming to his own event. He's a good player. I've seen him play for a few seasons for Brighton. But if you're sitting there on the bench, they bought you. They probably promised you certain things. You can't get a game. But Højbjerg is playing over you, and they had Bentancur. But I do think he's a very good player. I rate Bissouma. Am I glad we didn't buy him? No, because he didn't play in the CDM. That's where he fits, right? When Partey is out of where he fits, he's not a box to box midfielder.
But
he's not an 8.
He would go through the same thing.
Well, yeah, but he would, yes, possibly yes.
So you understand me? Because he would not be starting over Thomas Partey.
No, there's nobody in the Premier League apart from. There's nobody in the Premier League going to start over Thomas Partey. As far as I'm concerned, it's a CDL. Now, we would say Rodri or Casemiro, and others will say different names, but I am a big Partey fan.
Yeah, what about you know, I think he plays some Monaco. I think his name is Fafana.
Don't know him actually.
You don't know him?
I don't watch too many French league. I only watch PSG in the French league.
Yes, Fafana, I think his name is.
Yeah, I don't watch too much French league. I don't watch too much Bush league. So I don't watch Spanish league anymore, because unless Real Madrid playing Barcelona.
He plays some Monaco.
Yeah, I would know management. I don't watch those teams.
That's who I take. I would take for fun. I think he's going to the World Cup for France.
I think I've seen him play for France, but they have so many midfielders. France, they have a ton of midfielders. Everyone talks about Brazil and realize that France can afford to lose people like Pogba and Kante and still be good.
Yeah.
They have a litany of players.
I see somebody saying that, what about Kessie at Barcelona? Fit that would be better fit.
I don't know why Frank Kessie went to Barcelona. Like, that makes no sense.
I'm telling you, that's why I don't want him. Why did you go to Barcelona?
Free too. I mean, think about it. He played against Man U in the Champions League. He was very good for Milan when he played against Man U. Scored, I think he actually probably scored in that game, if I'm not mistaken. Played well at Milan. He went to Barca with De Jong, with Gavi, with Pedri, with all these players.
And Busquets was there already. I'm wondering why did you go there? But come on.
Makes no sense to me. He could come to Arsenal and be on the bench too. Or play with Xhaka. Well, no one can get on Xhaka. Xhaka has been probably our best player this season, frankly. If it's not from day one to now, Xhaka has been our best player. So we've had Jesus started really good along with what's his name, the right centre half, really, really well. Partey's hit and miss.
Saliba.
But Xhaka has been a more consistent player. Xhaka has been a most consistent player by a good margin.
Yeah.
And plays every game, by the way. Doesn't get injured.
Yep. And then we have the Sunday 9 a.m. game, Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest.
I expect us to win 3-1 because we seem to be giving up goal every game. So I'm going to give them one and say Jesus break his slump along with Odegaard. I'm not a Saka confident in terms of his ability to score. I don't have the confidence in Saka like some people do. I don't think he's a goal scorer. I've been saying this for the last 3 years. But hopefully we probably get a header from Gabriel is due. Gabriel is due to score a header. He scored 5 goals last season. He needs to start scoring. So. But I think we're gonna win 3-1.
But you know what's the next thing to Cranky? I think Fabian Vieira, I don't know. He's not ready, man. He's
not ready. Fabian Vieira?
Yeah.
He needs to go to the gym.
Yeah.
They need to feed him and send him to the gym. Feed him and send him to the gym.
Demo is the greatest, you know. Demo, you know that we're just asking for you? Were you listening? You waited until we're finished. Demo, given what you have seen of Darwin Nunez, we have Liverpool to win 3-1 though. Demo, given what you have seen from Darwin Nunez recently, have you changed your opinion on him? That is the question that we have for you. We want to hear you speak on Darwin Nunez. Let me see if I can. I'm going to make sure. If you can, I just want you to come on and tell us about Darwin Nunez. I want to know if your opinion has changed as it relates to Darwin Nunez, Mr. Demo, because I don't know. I just think this is the next one that you have gotten wrong. All right, so you expect Arsenal...
Boss time I said I should watch the Malta League. Is that where Butler made his name?
All right. So somebody's saying that I think Arsenal should have gotten KW Media gotten James Garner as a backup for Partey. I think United made a mistake letting him go.
But he can't get into the Everton team, so why you want to come play for us?
Yeah.
So we are poppy managers, man. We don't want anybody can get into a team outside the top 6, you know. If you can't get a team outside the top 6, why would I want? No, top 7, I should say.
The man I think can make a team for the World Cup, and Fofana
make a team for the World Cup. Is not in consideration. We need a bigger team.
That would be a big downgrade, I think. Big downgrade. KWBD, I can't agree with that. So Demo is here, and I'm going to allow him to speak. Go ahead, Demo. You take some time, explain your Darwin Nunez situation. Go ahead.
Demo, management for Demo start. Demo for your start. Look like you can't come on camera, Demo. Where you want it? Eh?
No. First of all, good evening to the comment section and good evening, guys. No, the thing is, my battery is at 15%. If I turn on the camera, it'll run off fast.
You're so next speed.
No, man, I was on camera the other night.
Okay, all right. I was not giving you a hard time. Go ahead, Demo. I don't want you to run over before you finish talking, so go ahead.
No, this will be quick because I'm not sure why management think that scoring a goal will change my opinion. All right, so
go on.
Darwin Nunez, huh?
Go on.
Yeah, it's not because him scored the other day why I said that.
No,
against
Demon. You know he has more goals than my centre forward, right?
Okay, so is he better than your centre forward? Give me Jesus.
I don't know yet. Too early to tell.
Give me Jesus and take him, please. May I beg you? Because this is the thing, right? People are going to use goals now and come and say, okay, that's the currency. Goals win the games and all of that jazz, right? For me, Darwin Nunez is not it. The man still, you can hype up him goal all you want, but if you watch that game, the man technical ability is lacking, boss. In that game, he also missed an easy shot. For me, do all the work, slide the ball.
In the Champions League?
Yes, versus Ajax, right in front of the goal. No goalkeeper. Him kick the ball on the post. Like, what? He does that all too consistently, boss. Him do it since him come here from the Community Shield. As a matter of fact, from the preseason game against Manchester United, right in front of the box, him sky the ball. Community Shield, him get
Adema,
about 3 clear chances, him kick with the ball. That game, him do the same thing. Before he scored, him kick with the ball right from the goal line.
But
Like, it's ridiculous.
So Dima, I have a question for you, Dima. I have a question for you.
I have
You
one
don't think
question.
some forwards who miss goals actually the ones who put themselves in a position to get those chances, right? Because sometimes forwards who miss a lot, but they do such a good job of getting themselves in position to score. That's why they get chances.
And that's fair. That's fair. I mean,
That's what I
I'd
wanna
have a striker who put himself in the position to score
Exactly.
and get the chances than somebody who is not doing that. Fine. But for me, he's not good enough in terms of holding on to the ball, getting people involved. I mean, the Ajax game was one of his better games, and don't get me wrong. But the little
Didn't he score in
things,
the EPL game before that as well? Yes.
the EPL game.
Yeah, he scored in your game before this. Your last EPL game, he scored. He was the one who scored for Liverpool in the last EPL game.
Who played him?
Nottingham Forest game? Was it Nottingham Forest? Who they play?
We lose we lose against Forest, boss. What do you mean?
Yeah, man. Right.
We
So
lose 1-0.
before the last game that you won, he scored.
Who played before that? After West Ham? We won West Ham 1-0.
And he scored the one goal.
Yeah, I think he scored the goal. I think so.
Yeah.
But I was on here after that. At that game, him there kicked the ball with him left foot, and then the keeper made some good saves off of him. He got a rebound and then right in front of the goal and kicked the ball at the corner flag with him right foot. Like, I spoke about it and he couldn't stay on side for save him life. I came here and I spoke about it. So for me, it's not just goals, and that's why I'm saying I'd rather have Jesus. Nobody's going to come and convince me that Jesus, even though Nunez has, and I think Jesus has more goals than him in the Premier League.
We're talking about total goals between
No.
Champions League. So we're Europa League and Premier League, you know. And
Okay.
Jesus hasn't scored his last 4 games, by the way. Jesus has scored in the last 4
Yeah,
games.
but this is how stats are misleading. Does Jesus start all their games in the Europa League?
He plays in all of them.
No.
Does he start?
Most of them.
plays?
No. He missed
Okay.
1 or 2. I think. He missed one.
Oh, that's what I thought. So Jesus plays in the
Nunez
Europa
has not
League.
played in all of them.
Listen to him.
Darwin Nunez, by the way, before you go, Demo, here's the stat, Demo. Which is very important
Darwin
stat,
Nunez
Demo.
miss some Premier League.
Wait. Management, hold up, management.
He got banned for a red card.
No.
Yeah.
Demo, hear the stats. This is stat you need to think about. So Darwin Nunez has scored 6 goals. Jesus has scored 5 goals, right? But here's the most important part. Darwin Nunez has played half the amount of minutes Jesus has played.
Okay.
That's
you
a
finished?
big difference, isn't it? Yes, I'm finished. You can
Good.
stew in that. Go ahead.
So obviously, this is how stats can be misleading, and I don't want people to tell me that he played far less minutes. That's not Jesus' fault. He got a red card and got a 3-match ban. That's his fault and one of the reasons why he missed the game. Headbutt the man. He headbutt the man and get a red card. That's a part of his temperament issues. That's his problem. Don't bring Jesus into that. That's not Jesus' fault that he played less minutes. He got the red card on his own. So my thing is, Jesus for Arsenal is not just about goals. Mr. Jesus dribble down defenders and set up plays and all of that stuff. He draws a lot of.
Like a Jamaican baller. Wait, Demo.
No,
sound like a Jamaican people like the dribbling thing, Demo. Talk about output. Output.
No, but the dribbling leads to stuff.
No, when Gabriel dribbled in the game, Cranky, didn't he stumble down and couldn't even the first shot was a fluke?
Yeah,
Boss,
look, yeah.
Jesus dribbled down and set up plays for Arsenal since him there. I've seen it probably 3 or 4 times since he's been. It's way more than just goals for him. So he's scoring goals. Well, he's stopped now, but he was scoring goals and he's massively involved in what Arsenal does going forward all the time. Nunez, on the other hand, all he does is just put the ball in the net when he gets a chance. He missed 5 and then he must score 1. If that's okay for you, then you can take him in a Mannings, man. You can take him and give me Jesus, because to me it's not enough. And sure, he's young and him can get better and all of that stuff. That's fair. And yeah, we'll take it. But
Before the
for
game says,
now,
man, ask your guest to explain how Darwin Nunez transfer fee was 85 million euros, playing in the EPL and technically not good.
he asked me how
He's asking you to explain that.
how am I supposed to explain that? It's not self-explanatory. He's obviously young and to learn all the fundamentals properly. Lukaku was 100 million and he can't control a ball. I don't understand. The man obviously not he's what, 23? He still has a lot to learn. I don't think Sterling good at controlling the ball either.
So Demo, we're gonna make a friendly bet, Demo. We're gonna make a friendly bet. I'm gonna bet you, not no money or anything, that by the end of the season you'll change your opinion on Nunez. How about that?
I want him to do that. But may I feel in a little secret, Cranky. I don't rate Haaland, you know. It's just my personal preference of a footballer. Like me not just like forwards because them put the ball in the back of the net. Like you have to be more involved in the game, and I mean maybe I just get used to Firmino too much. Probably that's it. But the Fat Man Ronaldo, them man they was a forward boss. Them man they score goals and him can involve in a play and link up play and him a dribble by somebody if him get the chance and all of these things. Probably I'm just used to them type of forward. And Fernando Torres was one of my favorite Liverpool players. And him never really dribble down nobody. But him always involved in the game. And him still know for score goals. Nunez, him can change my mind. He's still young. We'll wait and see. You know, Mannings, man, as I'm gonna finish right here, so. You know, like when you link with a player and everybody rush to YouTube to go to the highlights, and then you get excited over the highlights because them show the best bits. Boss, Nunez never have no best bits. Like none. Like the man probably just score against Liverpool.
Believe it to the Liverpool fans,
No, yes, because him score against Liverpool. Like we play the high line and Nunez get behind with him score against us in both legs of the Champions League when we play Benfica. I think that's why I clap by him.
So Demo, I'm gonna say this, Demo. Demo, I'm gonna say this. You see, when you watch a person on TV, it's different when the coach on the sideline watching the player.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's a whole. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, he's physical.
Just like Andy Carroll.
Yeah, but he's not
he's a more mobile Andy Carroll. Yes, he's a more mobile Andy Carroll.
The man is the Uruguayan Andy Carroll, boss. But me not get the hype. Like we could have literally.
Andy Carroll at one point was shocking out, wasn't he?
Here's the next Liverpool man says, we didn't bring Nunez to Liverpool to dribble and create chances. That's not his job. And we have other players for that.
Marcel, listen to me. I didn't say that's why we bring Nunez there. I'm telling you the type of forwards me like. Like, we don't understand that how me like. All of this is my personal bias. So I don't know how people will kill me for my personal bias.
You'd feel the same if Haaland was there because you don't. You'd feel the same if Haaland was there because you don't rate Haaland either.
No, he would be scoring goals. Haaland be scoring goals. He'd be scoring goals. They wouldn't have the same problem.
I rate him as a goal scorer, not as a footballer. Like, I think Haaland impressive. If boss Haaland just say him need 6 touches, then that's it. We can't rate somebody like that, boss. Like just that because.
No, I would say this. I would say this, which is anybody who scores more than a goal a game in their career or close to a goal a game is a good footballer and can play for my team any day. If you know how hard it is to score a goal. If you score a goal a game in your career, not in a league, not in one-off, a goal a game in your career, you can play for my team. If I don't rate you in terms of some of the attributes of your game, but you focus on what you're on the field to do. You're center forward, you should score goals. Now, if you're not prolific, like Jesus, you have to have attributes which are important, which Jesus exhibit. Right? But a goal a game, you can't beat a goal a game.
what I'm saying, Demo, if Haaland says, I only need 6 touches, and out of those 6 touches, it gives you a goal in a Demo. That's big.
Yeah, that's big for a goal scorer, and that's fine. And he can play for the team if they are going to do that.
Danny Welbeck have 50 touches and don't score 1.
And Demo, here's nothing, Demo. Here's what's important, Demo. When Haaland's on the field, he garners attention. So you can't play Haaland with just one player, You got to change your whole defense, your whole team to make up for what he's going to create, the havoc he's going to create. So then other players have more room and more ability to operate because you spend so much time focused on Haaland. That's why City's so dangerous. Because you got to play deeper. Right, so, you can't play Haaland against Haaland. No. You can't play Haaland against Haaland. Doesn't work.
Yeah. So, all right. So, man, you rate Lukaku?
Eh?
Do you guys rate Lukaku?
No, I don't personally rate Lukaku. Because Lukaku scores a bag of goals.
Lukaku was prolific.
Where?
I mean, where? In the Premier League, Lukaku
scored.
Asking you where? Just ask.
I'm not talking Manchester United. Lukaku.
What?
And when he just come back,
he scored at West Brom, he scored at Everton, he scored at Man U, he scored at Inter, he scored goals.
Very prolific boss. What do you mean?
He scored goals.
Hold on. Let's.
You don't know Lukaku.
Hold on. You mean tell me? Hold on. Let's eliminate the goals that Lukaku scored. Like you see, Italy. I think some of those stats that we get from Italy sometimes.
Yeah.
It bothers me because it when they come over into the league, a lot of it don't happen. All right.
But so, man, we're not talking about Italy. We talk before all of that.
Let's go back to his Everton days because when he was at loan at Everton. Prolific. A lot of his goals were penalties.
But so what that mean? Haaland kicks a lot of penalties. What you mean?
I'm saying so Demo management. Let me just say this. Okay, here's the stats. Management. So weed them and weep. Everton, 166 games, 87 goals. That means it's 1-2 management. 1-2. Wait, management. It gets better. Inter Milan, 66 in 99. Anderlecht, 41 in 98. Man U, 42 in 96. Chelsea only had 15 in 59 because Tuchel didn't like him. West Brom 17 in 38. He's 1-2. 1-2 is a good striker.
So let's check Darwin Nunez.
Don't do Darwin Nunez because you're going to embarrass yourself. The man have one good season now by him, boss, and him score 20 at goal. Before that, him they have like 6 or something like that. Boss, all I'm saying, if you rate Lukaku, I just want you to tell me the difference between Haaland and Lukaku. And why you rate one and don't rate the other?
Because I think Haaland have better touches than Lukaku. He's able to control and pass the ball and the link-up play better. Lukaku has a controlling problem.
Wow. So here's
my view. Here's my view of Haaland and Lukaku. You're right. Lukaku has heavy foot and poor control is part of his problem. He's physical. Mm-hmm. He's a decent link-up player. He can go down the channels. He's decent in the air. Mm-hmm. Haaland have all of those, but he does them better. Haaland cannot be marked one-on-one. He's too physical. He's going to run you over or run around you. Lukaku more run you over. Haaland has decent touches. He's deadly with left foot, and he can score with his right foot. Lukaku is only a left foot scorer. Haaland is accurate with his shot. He's a complete forward, except for the ability to beat a player, go by them. But he doesn't need to do that given the way he plays.
That's fair. So I just do want Manny's man. Manny's man just like him want attack me. But him no rate Lukaku. And wait no attack me because I no rate Nunez. And want to just describe of Lukaku is basically what the Nunez is. Right.
Somebody before the game, I must ask you, Demo, who do you prefer? Etu and I think or Henry?
That easy, Henry. I think he remember Henry started off, well, not him start off, but he played a lot on the left side. And him can dribble past someone and him quick and him time him runs properly and he's an elite finisher. Etu, I like Etu too. But
by the way, Demo and Manny's man, you know Lukaku has 68 goals in 102 appearance for Belgium. You know what the next highest goal total is? Next highest goal total is 30. Let me just say that. So
Boss,
you guys are knocking the car saying goal.
You don't have to tell me about Lukaku. You don't have to tell Manning's man need to tell about Lukaku.
So based on those stats, you can't close over Haaland anytime.
No, Haaland is 1-1. No. Haaland is 1-1. Lukaku is 1-2. There's a difference.
You're missing my point. Man, Manning's man. I ask you if you rate him because I mean you obviously never know him prolific. I thought you did. But I ask you if you rate him because he scores goals. Like, for me, not because Nunez score goals means I'm going to rate him. You just have to do other stuff. You know what I mean? I'm going to think him have it yet. He might get it, but
you know, for some people, Demo, that some people choose Nunez over Firmino, for example. So Firmino is brilliant on the ball, but he's not a great goal scorer.
That was my next point, Cranky. I'm glad you reminded me. This is why a lot of people don't rate Firmino and them just listen, boss. With a tattoo Firmino name on my chest. May I tell you, what Firmino do for Liverpool, boss, the work that he put in, and I'm not ask every striker to do that, obviously not. But what he does for a Liverpool team, it goes so unnoticed at times, and people don't rate him because he doesn't score goals, but me prefer him than Nunez, because he's a system. Like, the man literally hold the team together, and that's why Salah and Mane got all the goals that they got, because of his unselfishness and because all of the work that he would have done in terms of pressing or dropping deep to get the ball and play it forward. Nunez,
Dima,
it's not.
Dima, you know when you're far from the goal, you can't score in a Dima. That's what part of this problem is, right? If you out of the box, you have less chance of scoring. So when Firmino drops deep, unless you have Mane and Salah running behind to score, it's not happening. Unless the big ball comes from the wing with either your two, left and right back. So that's part of the problem you face, which is Nunez is up top and Nunez is in your box.
I mean, and even saying that, Bobby got his fair share of goals for Liverpool as well. And I think he's probably one of our leading goal scorers this season too. And like, bro, I don't understand.
I talk to Liverpool fans, and a lot of them are not convinced by Firmino, given his lack of goal scoring prowess.
I know. Yeah. I don't know why. But like I say, it's probably just preference. Manning's man. So you don't need to attack my boss. It's just personal preference. So if the man score again, when we play against Leeds, listen, I'm always happy. I'm always happy for when he score.
He's gonna score actually.
What? Manning's man court say you support Man U. Why? What happened? What me say Man U to be a support Man U now? We don't understand. Nothing like that, sir.
Yeah, so I just want to get into predictions because you draw me up with this Nunez thing.
Hey, anyways, whatever battery you have in your phone, you need to send some of them to Jamaica, right? And make sure Mr. Speed by one.
Mr. Speed.
Because you have 20 minutes and the thing for 30.
No, man. No, I'm plug it in, man. I'm plug it in.
No, it was his camera battery he's talking about. He's talking about his camera battery.
No, I'm plug it in. But what was the prediction for the game, for the Liverpool game?
Liverpool. Leeds 1. But I said
Nunez scoring 2, by the way.
And I'll be clapping and screaming and shouting when he does.
I don't think Leeds score against Liverpool.
No, man, you see, like, we conceding goals first, like, a lot.
Yeah, I don't think Leeds can score. I think Leeds missed too much chances, man. Even the Arsenal game is that,
Yeah. So for me, I mean, I know Liverpool fans are panicking and, probably rightly so. But just a little hope. Like, we're 4 wins out of 5 in our last 5 games in all competitions. Sure, the Nottingham Forest wasn't the best result, and we probably shouldn't lose that. Well, we shouldn't lose it, but it's football and anything can happen on the day. But we're 4 wins out of 5 all competitions. We beat a Manchester City team in that run. Sure, and if anyone count the Rangers game, that's fine. But scoring 7 goals against anybody is something good. And obviously against Ajax, we played really well. So the Leeds game, if it was at Ellen Road, I would say it would be a lot more difficult. But at Anfield under the lights, I think it would just be too much for Leeds. And with the coach coming out and saying what he's saying and him feel under pressure and him tired and all of these things, it might literally be very close to getting the sack. I know
The
when he
Leeds
just
coach, yeah,
came.
I think he's the next coach that's going. I just think he's
Yeah,
going to lose this game, and I think after the World Cup he's not going to be there.
I think they haven't won in the last 6 or 7, and
Somebody saying
that's really.
it's a 6-1. If Liverpool wins this by 6-1, he's definitely gone.
That's definitely not impossible. Like there's always goals between Liverpool and Leeds. I remember like one opening day we beat them 4-3 by the skin of our teeth. Like it was
Yeah.
very
That's when they
exciting.
just came back in the league. Yeah.
Yeah, man, under Bielsa, and so I think there will be goals in the game, and I think we'll win the game comfortably. I hope that Trent comes back in the starting lineup because obviously when he didn't play against Nottingham Forest from the start, you can see that will lack a bit of creativity from that side. When Milner is there, and the solidity where people say them need from the right back position that obviously wasn't needed in that game because Nottingham Forest put 11 man behind the ball.
Marcel is
So
reminding
I
us
hope
that
he
during the
comes back.
lockdown. Sorry, Marcel is reminding us that during the lockdown, Liverpool gave Leeds 6 love.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. There's
Lockdown
always
don't count.
goals.
Lockdown don't count. There's no fans in the stand. Don't count.
I'm sure you'd want to say that. Didn't you guys win the FA Cup in the lockdown?
That's why it don't count.
Didn't you? And
You
we
Oh,
don't
don't
count.
count.
So you ought not
you're
to
We
not
win the
count.
FA
going
Cup too much. We don't have to count FA Cups. We just
Yeah,
it's our competition.
we can't
Even when
forget
we're good, we
about
still
can't
win.
forget about
Yeah.
that. We don't celebrate the lockdown.
We
We don't celebrate the
yeah.
lockdown cups.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Exactly. Lockdown cup.
We don't know about
yeah,
Liverpool.
it's fine. You don't need to know. But just to finish up, we have players coming back, and while players are coming back, players are still going out. Konate is back. Uh Oxley Chamberlain is back. Naby Keita is said to be back, and Thiago is back. So we should have some options in midfield, and yeah, we should be able to beat Leeds. And I really hope that this is the turning point of our season and a long stretch of wins. Like I say, 4 out of 5 in all competitions. I hope that we don't burn out people like Firmino and stuff because the Napoli game first in the Champions League is really you can't just rest people. Rest people for the Napoli game when we're already through. We have to beat Napoli like 5-1 or 4-0 for top the group in that. So just let's not do that. I know Klopp won't listen to me and do that. But we don't really want to risk
You're gonna
injury.
be lucky if you beat Napoli, period. Much less beat.
Yeah, that too. And I know it will be a good confidence boost if we can beat them, especially after the flogging that they gave us over there. But yeah, so looking forward to the game, and Liverpool 4, Leeds 1. It probably is a Bamford goal too.
All right.
That's confidence. 4-1. Good.
Yeah. All right. Respect Demas in Nitro saying Liverpool 3, Leeds 1. I just don't see Leeds scoring, but you never know. So I'm going.
All right, boy.
Yeah, man. All right. Respect
All right,
Demo. Yeah, man. All right. So we did the Arsenal Nottingham Forest game, Cranky. Then we have Manchester United, who are on a good bounce. They go up against West Ham, who is also, listen, West Ham is one of those teams that it's hard to beat them. Like, this is a team that's not going to give you a win. You're gonna have to beat them. This game is being played at Old Trafford. What are your prediction of this game, Cranky? Manchester United against West Ham. Manchester United coming off their game in Europe. Does this affect how they perform? West Ham defeated Bournemouth in their last game by 2-0. So, and they lost to Liverpool 1-0. They drew with Southampton 1-1, and they defeated Fulham 3-1. That has been their games.
So they game against Liverpool, they missed a penalty, didn't they?
Yes.
Bowen missed a penalty in that game, so they could have drawn that game.
Yes.
They started the season very, very slowly, but they're getting better as the season progresses. Right, the team is now really well set up. They're playing decently. I expect them to draw with Man U. I'm gonna say 2-2.
Yeah.
They're hard to break down. You can't get behind them, which is what Man U does really well. They'll compete in midfield, and they have decent forwards. So I'm going to say 2-2, yeah.
All right. I see Duckland saying Liverpool will not beat Napoli. Fresh God says Manchester 2, West Ham 0. Then he says West Ham record away isn't great this season, manins. Go check it out. Nitro says 4-0, 4-1 to Manchester United. Gunners, boss. Bless up. I'm not here to pick any games. Arsenal isn't sputtering. They are rising. 2-1 Gunners. Taking all 3 points. All right. Is Antonio still out? I am not sure that he will be ready, I am not sure. But we also have CC, who is the Chelsea man. He's in late. We went over the Chelsea game, but I'm going to ask him to go back to it and tell us a little bit about the Chelsea game. Look like he bought a new Chelsea jersey, so he's making sure that we can see the Chelsea crest on it.
A Brazilian, my boss. A Brazilian.
Oh, it's a Brazilian jersey? I didn't know you support Brazil, man. You're a wise man.
How are you answer, man? Brazil have tried long time. Yeah, Brazil have a team management. Even though I don't really like the whole agenda against samba football, but you don't know that go. Yeah, Chelsea.
Talk about your game. You go away. You're away to Brighton, going back to Potter's former team.
Yeah, I think away to Brighton. Given the way I've seen Brighton being playing, they have not won a lot of games since they have not won a lot of games since Potter had left, because I think they drew the game with Liverpool, lost. I don't think
they have won a game since Potter has left.
Yeah. They haven't won a game since Potter have left. So I was just thinking that it's even though they have not won, it's a team that you don't necessarily underestimate, right? So I just think that given the fact that all of Chelsea's backroom staff is coming from Brighton, there's this. I think this game will have the intensity of a derby game in terms of the way I think Brighton might attack the game because of the whole dynamics behind it. However, I think Chelsea can come out with a victory, but I think it might be an hard-fought victory. So I'm looking at a 2-0 winning game. So that's why I see it, a 2-0. But Brighton is never an easy opponent, even though they haven't won a game, I think, since, as I said, Potter has left. And Chelsea has pretty much been decent in the Premier League and top of the group in the Champions League. So you can say all in all so far with Potter, we are going pretty much okay, probably better than a lot of persons estimated. Because I don't think a lot of persons thought that Graham Potter was the person Chelsea should hire in terms of his experience and the level at which Chelsea is at and the club, the things that the club, the ambition of the club.
Okay. So all right. Cranky, one of the things I want to ask you is that what are your thoughts on Unai Emery taking over this Aston Villa squad? Is it a good squad, and how much can he get out of this team? He had he struggled with players like Pepe, in terms of how he plays. How can you think about Leon Bailey being in that side? The kind of way that Unai Emery set up his team at Arsenal and even at Villarreal, like to play solid defense. Are you concerned, one, that his coaching style could affect Leon Bailey's playing style? And do you think he's the man that can really bring back Villa to where they were a couple seasons ago?
Emery has won, 4 Europa League? He's coached at some of the biggest clubs, PSG, Arsenal, Villarreal, Sevilla. Yeah. He was in the semi-final of the Champions League last year with a undermanned and not the best Villarreal team. So his coaching pedigree is unquestionable. He's a very good coach. The biggest problem in England is the language barrier.
Good evening.
So in Spain,
what he says, native language. He says, good evening.
And that people tease him about that. But I will tell people, at least he can speak some semblance of English. They can't speak any other language. Most English-speaking people, English as first language, are not multilingual. But yet they will denigrate and belittle somebody who have an accent trying to speak English, which is not their primary language. I think that was a big issue for him, especially the English press, which is unforgiving. So I do expect him to do really well. He's a 4-3-3 manager. He's not a 3-5-2 or 3-4-3 manager. I expect him to do well. Look, I think Bailey, Watkins, Ings, those players got to take responsibility for their performance and don't blame the manager. Manager's not kicking the ball when you're out there. He may set you up with a pattern of play. He's not the one controlling the ball and making the pass and doing the run. So, but he will set them up really well. His teams are normally hard to beat. I expect him to do really well with Villa. Villa has a lot of named players. The question is, can they work cohesively as a team? You know, think about the team. I mean, they have England international. Ings and Watkins were international. Ramsey is a very good young player. Coutinho hasn't played well. They bought Buendia when we're going to try to pursue him when he came from the championship at Norwich, right? They have Bailey, who, you know, my views on Bailey. They have Louis. They have a lot of good players.
I don't think they're good defensively though, because I don't really mean
their challenge, right? So, yeah, I think that's part of their challenge between Ings and Konsa. And then you have the kid from Everton who got injured. But he's not a good defender. He's not a good defender. He's good going forward, not a good defender.
Ding, eh? The French player. Yeah.
The French player. So I do think they have good players. The question is, do they have a good team? And one result doesn't make a team. So we'll see when they play Newcastle, which is a proper team. Physical, well-drilled, play good football, smart football, all adults. We'll see how well they do. Be an interesting game. I picked Newcastle to win.
And you know that he and Martinez never got along well.
Well, that was because Martinez think he was better than he was. Well, I mean, think about it, man. Martinez has been in Arsenal for about 10 years. He wasn't getting game under Wenger. He wasn't getting game under Lundqvist. He didn't get game under Arteta that much. So was it Emery's fault, or was it Emery was only at Arsenal for what, 2 years? How can it be Emery's fault when you've been at the club for 10 years? What happened to the other 8 years? I don't think it's Emery's fault.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Rockford says, up management and cranky. The slide will start in January. Rockford, listen, there are two ways to slide, you know. You can slide backwards or slide forward. When we make purchases, we'll be sliding forward. I don't know about your team, so be careful.
Yeah, man, I think the Emery situation, as I said, I think them push out Emery. I think them force Emery out at the door at Arsenal unfairly. And
really?
Yeah, man, I think they force out Emery unfairly because it's not like say Emery, you know, when Emery got the team, it's like they expected Emery to win the Premier League.
No.
And I mean, management, you're an Arsenal fan. The expectation of Emery was to win the league. Emery never have the expectation of top four. Arteta has gotten the expectation of top four and not the pressure of winning the Premier League. That's the two.
So CC, I'll jump in for a second, CC. It wasn't to win the league, you know. It was top four. So here's what happened. So under Wenger, Wenger, we want to call my old coach, it was he used to say top four was like a trophy, and we would get upset because we used to win the league, right? And then realize that we weren't in that category anymore because new money had come in. We still have the old view of life. When Emery came in, and the reason why Emery got the job, because Arteta interviewed for the job, they were so impressed with Emery's knowledge of the team, the players, how they play, the position, everything about the club. Emery was so informed. He came with his presentation, did a brilliant job. I'm not sure he spoke in Spanish or English, because he can't be brilliant the way his accent is in Spanish. But,
and Arsene also recommended him. He was one of the.
But he was at PSG, right? He just came from a PSG, which is unmanageable, frankly. Nobody can manage PSG. They change coach every year. But he went to them when he had won trophies at Sevilla. So he came with a pedigree. And Arteta was a young coach and came in subsequent. So what happens is when Emery failed and Lundqvist left and Emery failed, they had to invest in Arteta. They can't keep changing coach like Man U did. They say, you know what, Arteta came from Pep. He may leverage some of that information and technique and whatever he does.
But then it still comes back to the point that when Emery came, the expectation of Emery is trophies. The expectation of Arteta.
Yes, but I wouldn't say win the league. I would say Europa League. We went to the final. Chelsea destroyed us, frankly.
Yeah, so that's why I was saying.
But we went to the final, right?
I think Arteta, to me, Arteta, and this is not a luck, because Arteta winning the FA Cup against Chelsea, I think kind of beefed up his terms.
But most people tell you that Unai Emery brought the team to the what? Up to the quarterfinals. So Arteta really took that team in that competition for the finals and the semi-finals.
Yeah, but I mean, some of the things that Arteta did, in terms of, I think if an Emery did it, it would have been different. Like, for example, the situation with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. So it's all about, how backed was.
But that's what Emery. Listen, here's what happened with Unai Emery. He was just coming from a PSG situation where he was blamed for the turmoil in the changing room. He comes to Arsenal. You have to make the tough decisions. Like what Arteta was willing to risk his job by getting rid of certain players.
So here's the difference, guys.
Arteta came out and said, listen, we have gotten rid of the rat. Here's
the difference, guys. Arteta was back, Emery wasn't back. So here's the big difference. The same players Arteta get rid of was the one Emery had. They weren't good enough.
Yeah.
The Mustafis, the Ozil in their later years, those players weren't good enough. So Arteta got rid of them because they weren't good enough. Emery had that baggage. The Lacazettes of the world, the Ramses of the world, they weren't good enough. That's why we couldn't go anywhere. Arteta was backed money-wise, because we spent over about 400-something million in the last 4 years. He's been backed both with time and with funds. Emery wasn't backed.
Emery went and bought, what's his name, Greek.
Emery didn't buy Pepe. Emery didn't buy Pepe. Emery didn't buy Pepe.
No, the Greek centre-back.
Mavropanos?
No, man.
Oh, Emery. Well, that was Mislintat. That was Emery. Mislintat was the one who had Dortmund. No, Mislintat had a contact with Dortmund. He bought the Greek centre-back, you're right, and his name is escaping me now. That was Emery. Emery didn't have the power to buy anybody.
Liechtensteiner?
No, that was a Swedish, Switzerland. That's not. He's not.
Unai Emery bought him. Yes.
He wasn't buying. Wasn't he alone?
Well, no, it was.
No, the right back.
He brought him.
He came with some pedigree. He came with some pedigree, but he didn't cost that much money. I thought he was a free. I'm almost sure he was a free.
But these are the players that he brought in.
But man, he didn't have control over purchasing players. He may have signed off on them. Mislintat had that.
Emery
that's why they fired Mislintat. That's why they fired Mislintat.
Yeah, but Emery was the one who, I think, promoted Saka.
Yes, he promoted Saka. Yes, he did.
Martinelli, and I think he bought Saliba. And who was another one? I think there's 4 of them that is starting. 4 players that are starting for Arsenal right now.
He got good. Let me tell you the 7 signings. Saliba, Guendouzi.
Yeah. Quality. 2 quality. Saka.
Martinelli.
No.
He brought him in the team, so put him in there. He's not buying, but he brought him in the team.
All right. Martinelli.
Quality. Yeah.
4.
No, quality. The 4 players, 40 young players. You can stop right there. You can stop. Because you can't have 100% batting average.
What's the name of the centre back, man? Oh, jeez. Lucas Torreira. He bought Socrates. Torreira. Yeah. He also got what's his name? Oh, Denis Suarez on loan.
Yes, he did. And Arteta had what Ceballos on loan too. So keep going.
Emil Smith Rowe.
No.
He didn't bring Smith Rowe.
No, I said he promoted
on loan.
No.
And
No. Smith Rowe was playing from Arsene Wenger time and got injured playing in Europe. No. Smith Rowe was playing in Arsene Wenger time. The first time Smith Rowe played for Arsenal was in Europe and he got injured. Danny Ceballos was
Socrates. You're talking about money, man. Socrates.
David Luiz.
Goodbye. Good.
Bern Leno. Kieran.
Goodbye.
Tierney.
Goodbye.
Saliba and Martinelli. Those were his signings.
Management. So management. Listen to this. This is management. Martinelli, Saka, Saliba, Tierney, Guendouzi.
How many that?
5. That's all you're gonna see. Don't care what you buy. Don't care what you
The
buy.
other 7 are bad. So that's less than
No.
50.
But my man, Suarez was not an acquisition. He was a loan, right? This time was free. Socrates was only 18 million pounds. 18 million pounds. Let's go to what's the other two bannings, man?
Pepe, 70 odd million.
I think still Pepe is a good player. By the way, Pepe has more goals in the last 4 games than Arsenal has. By the way, he scored 4 and 4.
Lucas Torreira, that's his
Torreira
name.
was good. He went to Italy, got game time, played really well. Don't know what happened, but he was a well-ready player. Played for Uruguay. He bought good players.
Yeah. CC enough to Google the Simitro thing, man. Simitro my baller, man. Simitro was from Arsene Wenger time in played, man. Nobody check it out, but you don't go get it right.
Yeah, Simitro is from. He was on loan though. He went on loan. He got injured on loan.
He went on loan at Huddersfield. He went to loan in Germany, but he had played in Europe before that. He played in Europe. In fact, it was during that same season that Emi Martinez played and they scored on him from half line. And from that day, they never put him back in Arsenal goal until recent times. Yeah. I thought, Nitro, I thought this side would have slid once we started playing the big side. So now that we have passed them at the big side, everybody giving us January timeline. So when January done, they're going to say February. And then when February is finished, they're going to say March. That, like they keep on saying that. All right. But CC, anything else you want to say? And then I'll go to Cranky.
As I said, still, the Premier League is shaping up. And I think the same striker that I think a lot of Liverpool fans were bashing and thing, and I came and said, the youth good. It's just that I tell people all the while, you see, they don't think these intangibles affect players. But it does some of the time even affect certain coaches. The whole language barrier and thing. And a lot of times, with I think Valencia is the only player I knew who played in England and never learned the language. Because I think Valencia doesn't speak English at all. And he played at Man U for about 7-8 years and he never spoke English. It's the only player that I know of in the Premier League that never spoke the language. But I think with the Nunez situation, he might be having difficulty settling down, and I think even the red card that he had gotten and everything kind of usurped everything, and he's just probably finding back his feet. But I think he's a very good striker. Like looking at his movement, at his pace. Some might say he don't control the ball well, and there might be a lot of reason for that. But as an outside person looking, as in my club doesn't have a striker of that ilk in terms of at that age. I don't want to say Aubameyang is a top striker, but at the age of Nunez, the ilk of a Nunez, we don't have that. You see me? And I think sometimes some of us as fans can be ungrateful because you probably have had strikers before who scored a portion of goals for you, like a Luis Suarez and those guys who came and hit the ground running. But you have to understand, say, certain strikers are different and it's not the same. For Chelsea, we just need for us. I think we need, as I said before, we need 3 players. We need 3 players. We're not gonna stop singing on it. We need 3 players. And right now, as far as I see, 2 of those players are going to be a midfield player and a striker. Isn't me? So I think that's what we have. We have to take that into we have to take that into account. What I wanted to say though, man, is I watched the game with Manchester United and Anthony, right? And they were at Nila.
Manchester United and Anthony?
No, sorry, Manchester United and Sheriff with Anthony with the Anthony situation. And I think I don't understand why this European agenda in terms of when a Brazilian player or a South American player or even an African player does a skill move or a trick move, it is labeled under the guise of showboating. I don't believe in nothing that is talking about showboating. If a person's DNA and a person's culture is naturally expressive, why do you want to cut that out of his football? And then you would have a manager in Eric Ten Hag, I vow to correct this. Like, correct what? Correct the man's culture? Correct the man's DNA? That's how the man play football.
CC,
Why do you want the man to play football like a European?
CC. When you go to Rome, you do like the Romans do. Or you
No, Cranky.
CC is not even debatable. CC is not debatable.
No, but
just like in South America, CC, not listening. In South America, diving is deemed to be deceptive. Get away with stuff. It's not something that's appreciated, that's valued, that's allowed in Europe. You're not playing in Brazil. That's why Neymar get kicked down in France when he does his tricks.
But look what
Neymar does it. Wait, 1 second, CC. Neymar does it beating a person. What he did wasn't beating anybody. People don't appreciate that. That's the culture.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying now, Cranky. What I've learned over the years of watching football is that European players are not normally skilled. Are not normally players who display a lot of skills in terms of dribbling, taking on a player, turning on a ball, and doing all of these things that you pay your money for go see. So you know what they do? Their conversation is around direct football, and then their thing is to me attacking the culture of a South American player or the culture of an African player. Anytime I've seen games,
you're so weird. CC, I'm gonna stop you, CC. CC, stop, CC, stop. Bunch of playing France are skillful. Bunch of playing Belgium are skillful. What you don't do is disrespect players. That's what they're trying to tell you. You're not listening, CC. You're in your world.
No,
in your whole. No, you're the one
converting football into what they think football should be. Football should be direct, passing, scoring a goal, and scoring a goal is respecting the opponent. If the man the man put the ball over your head, nothing is wrong with that.
CC, people in England love salad. When Pepe was doing it for us, they love it. People that want you to get the ball, there's nobody on you doing a sort of flick as if you're in your backyard.
People love Saint Maxima.
Yes. What they don't want you to do is act like you're in your backyard and trying to disrespect the game. That's what they're trying to tell you, CC. You're in your world thinking about when you were spinning on the ball, CC, going around like this. Was that game? What was he doing?
I'm going to ask you a question.
Hold on, CC, hold on.
What is showboating?
CC. Hold on a sec. I have one done. One done?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
CC.
Go ahead, man. He's hearing you.
The company show can tell you about the manager saying both with him. The manager never said that. The manager say he can do it. But when he do this skill, make sure he make a pass or he score a goal after. He might do that for India, Ajax, and the manager never have no problem with it. The only people have a problem with it are the English partners. And them alone have a problem with it. Nobody else. And them company radio on the TV, I can't talk about it. Paul Scholes, I call him man clown. Would that make no sense? A Brazilian, them, they're full of fear. Them all do all kinds of things with the ball. So the pundits, them are the problem. Fan base not a problem with it. Fan base wants more of that. And imagine not a problem with it neither.
But the manager, I forgot have a problem with it because the manager.
CC. All right, the first thing you have to acknowledge is that the man said that what you said the manager said was not what the manager said.
Listen, press conference, you know?
So,
all right, let's go, man.
You want to do when you do this skill, you make the correct
because the people, because the people who were talking about it was what Cranky was saying is that what you watch the game, CC. You saw the move, right? You saw the move.
Yes, that's what I was saying to you.
So the move that he made, you know that he lose the ball.
You made a bad pass.
Did you know that, CC?
The money's money. Even if you lose the ball, then you lose the ball enough time on the field.
You miss. All right, so I think you missed. No, all right. Me now go.
Because CC is very disconcerting the way how you debate an issue, CC. Somebody tried to explain something to you, which is he had the ball, no one on him. He spun around a circle about 3 times, then made a bad pass of it, and you're justifying it, CC. How can you justify that?
But tell us, if I just say the game I go where they want to turn it in a European,
go ahead,
run down, kick the ball and run down there, so I know depend that. Then you can go watch that.
See, I just the pundits them alone have a problem with it. The fan base not a problem with it.
Yeah, because the pundits are clowns. Because they want to see. They want to see.
All right. One done. Thank you. Here, sir.
And plus, you see, the ball I put up on Instagram saying, nah, stop it. and culture. Nobody now stop him from doing it.
All right. Yeah, all right.
Okay, guys, here's the difference. No one had a problem when Ronaldinho did these things in game. You know what, dude? Ronaldinho was beating a man, doing it, and making a pass out of it. He was doing it to create something. What Anthony did was, I don't know what Anthony was doing, Frank.
So then, may I ask you a question, Cranky? Why does the media have an agenda against when Neymar does it?
No,
and Neymar beats players when he does it. What they
Rafinha,
call everything that Neymar does a showboating.
Is Rafinha Brazilian? Rafinha was at Leeds. Rafinha dismissed Arsenal, man. Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus did it recently. 1, 2, 3, 4 players and never scored a goal. I heard nobody. Martinelli turnover. When named it from Liverpool, Trent. I heard nobody complaining saying that he was showboating. I see Neymar do it in France, and nobody said he's showboating.
The man get cured. Where you talk about?
No, Neymar did it because players got embarrassed.
Listen,
he embarrassed players.
Listen, CC. What Neymar got? You see what? And that's we don't want the conversation because you're doing two things that I don't appreciate. Here's what you're doing. You're taking what the youngster did and saying that the people are saying no sort of skill is acceptable in football, which is not the case, CC. Saint Maxima beat people every week. I don't hear it called showboating. Rafinha did it. I don't hear it called showboating. I'm giving you examples. Martinelli does it. It's not called showboating. Rabino, when he was at City, used to do it. They don't call it showboating. There are specific things in the game that they call that.
Man, what you're talking about don't call showboating. You might not hear it loud. They call it showboating.
I gotta run. I can't argue like this. I'm sorry.
You know what?
Man's man. If I pass a ball to you,
CC, just hold on, man. Yeah, man. Thank you, man. Man, come on the show, man. You can't listen, man. Yeah. People. Hey, welcome to the show, Fine Action.
Mornings, man.
Yeah, man.
Big up yourself.
Yeah, man. Where you going? Good evening. Yeah.
And RCC. How the man them quiet on the phone, so?
No, man. I'm listening to you, man. No, man. CC. Both of them left the show.
Both of them left?
Yeah, man.
So when me there I watch, me check see how them still are going.
Yeah.
So look like me a log in the thing.
So
what CC are trying to do? Take the fun and the celebration out of the game and that he must support.
No, man. He's saying that there's an agenda against Brazilian doing their skills in the game. So we are saying to him, there's no agenda. What the player did, the player was by himself and he did some spinning on the ball and then he lost the ball. That is different, right? Because nothing is wrong. Nobody has a problem when you take on a person, you salad them and you pile them and you go on and you pass and you score the goal. A couple of weeks ago, the same player, he did some fancy thing and scored a beautiful goal. Nobody called it showboating, right? There's a difference with showboating because other players have done that. And it doesn't mean that if somebody have a problem with showboating, they are saying that you must not shift people. You must not pile people. You're not supposed to use skills and get past people, which is what CC was trying to say. Right?
So hold on. So if you're not going to use skills and techniques and pass them, so we are practicing for it. I mean, say, for CC, if you just go kick the ball well over bush and kick it everywhere and who get it. You're not supposed to create better opportunities by using your skills to get the ball.
Yeah, man. Remember, that's what they're saying. So remember Messi. You ever hear nobody call Messi for showboating? No, because he shifts. Listen, Messi Salah the entire Messi in the Champions League at Barcelona. Dismiss Boateng. Dismiss Neuer in goal. Embarrass them. He did the same thing to Arsenal. Nobody called that showboating. But if Piney, if I am on the field, right? It's just like, you know, in basketball, you have you're up by 50. 20 seconds left, right? And I am standing under the hoop because the game is supposed to finish. And the man try alley-oop and dunk over me. Is that necessary?
No, you gotta try. Most of it all the while that cast fight. You're running
It's
up
going to
score and
cost
doing something.
exactly. So that is the kind of thing they are saying that is not necessary in football.
Yeah. That's why Kevin Garnett have a thing where once there's a dead ball and you try to shoot at the hoop, always block it. And him say the reason why I'm block it if you take an unnecessary shot. And that shot going at the basket, it might motivate you.
Simple as that. It's the same thing in football. It's the same thing in football. Yeah. If me Saladio, I'm in front of the goal for score, and then me dribble back out the ball and try Saladio again for laugh. What that going to do? You go inside, probably a bad tackle. So that is what they're talking about. They're not talking about now, I'm gonna run, come tackle me, I'm gonna shift him and score the goal or pass the ball. They're not talking about that.
You can't take when a man like me, I watch this baseball game. A home run. Yeah. A home run. I feel him tear off him chest and beat
but
him.
I want to tell you this. Neymar was carded in Brazil as a youth for doing it, and they had to stop him because players in Brazil started trying to hurt him because it was showboating.
He was too skillful, so he must showboat.
Yes, same thing with Rabino. Rabino was booked several times. There was a time in Brazil before he left Brazil to come over into Europe that he had the same problem. See, somebody even putting up again saying that, man, this is based on a false premise. In 2021, Brazil footballer Mauricio was booked for showing off skills in a Brazilian Serie league match as the referee deemed it disrespect for the game.
Yeah, man. You know, if you score a goal or you know, and you do it against the runner player, and you make some skillful pass against the runner player. But you try show out for yourself, and then you end up showing off because, like I said, show off, you know, because the ball in them turn over the ball.
It's just nothing, like, listen, like you sit on the ball and you roll over. That is showboating because it is unnecessary. In professional sport, you don't want to do that because it will incite some bad tackles. You don't want to do that. That is what they're saying. They're not saying that you can't dribble past people. So to someone to say that there is an agenda against Brazilian samba football, it's taking the thing too far, man.
No, you know what? I can't find my card to put one super chat in there so we can buy CC some lip glass. Because him talk some rusty things more time, like he need something to refine up him talk. Maybe he need, because I joke thing them the CC always a come to CC say him is a Brazilian fan, right?
Yeah, man, him support Brazil.
Well that's all it is, man. When the man them support some team, they always take the thing too serious and come with some conspiracy theory about that. CC look like him all them sports conspiracy theorists, you know.
Yeah. But that is it. Because I don't know, because we're not even talking about that. That's the thing, you know. Sometimes, let me tell you what happened with these things. Sometimes a man have something when one come discuss. And though you're not discussing it, you have to find a way to bring it up because you need to have this debate and conversation. Because it's not necessary. Divert to have an argument. It don't make no sense, man. But
I come here, I said, Phillies are come back in a baseball game. Then it was 5-0. It come back now to 5-3.
Yeah, the Phillies they lost to the Astros for game 1.
No man, the game it's on right now. Game 1, it's Phillies 3, Astros 5. In the what is this? The top of the 4th inning.
All right.
2 outs, 1
Peso.
out, 1 man. And
you see, here's the next one. This is the problem. Peso. No.
Speak up yourself.
Peso, nobody's taking skill out of the game. People cannot take skill out of the game. Come on, Peso, man. Peso, you play ball. And me I go tell you this when me I play ball. If me see a man have the ball and I go on like him want, hey, and I pile, all one of my teammate them, yo, we are set him up. I'll give you an example. Real football this. Real football. I'm talk to the youth them. You know the youth here. Him name Diddy. Them broke him foot. Dintil in a pre-season because of the same foolishness. Them set him up to today. That youth would have been one of Jamaica. Michael Carr is his name. Big player. Couldn't play. From that day, him foot has never come back. You know why? Simple. What man feel like, so, oh, you try to embarrass me. We're going to break your foot because we don't have to play no more ball. There are times when it is necessary in the game. That's not showboating. The man them say showboating is unnecessary in basketball, in cricket, any sort of sport. Showboating is unnecessary. Any sport.
When you have the ball at your foot, man, and you see defender come, man, you have to try away to make him go away, man, and you go the other way with the ball and do it. And that is that, man. But if you have the ball by yourself, man, this is not exhibition where you're up in out there by yourself.
Simple as that, man. So we mustn't take conversations from what they are not meant to create a narrative that we want, because nobody's saying that you can't shift.
Don't perform against. What you're saying is don't perform against yourself. So perform against the opponent.
Yeah, man. Beat your opponent and kick the ball at the back of the net. And that is it.
No, man. No beat.
But don't sit
on beat yourself.
Listen, I'll give you an example. There was a time, right? And me used to do them thing. And man used to beat, man used to them talk about, yo, look come here. And them put the ball and them use them bottom and all lick ball in a goal and thing and them thing there. That time them don't beat. You know, just kick the ball, go score it, man. You embarrass people. And when you do that, it incites certain kind of tackles.
Well, as long as it is allowed, you know. Because you see, certain things now, like in a certain sports, so you do that now, them call it unsportsmanlike conduct.
Didn't Russell Westbrook and somebody had a fight last season in the basketball for the same dunking at the end of the game business? Was it last season?
Yeah. A while back. So it happens all the time, you know. So it happens because even in a college or high school sports, you know. You see, if you try to run up a score and do some extra things, you know, you get penalized for them things there, you know.
Yeah.
Enough is enough, man. You put enough up here and you know, say, the other team can come back. You don't need to score. Remember the other day, this team that play basketball and they must outscore a team 100 to must be 20 something, something that it cost a big hoopla a little while back. Like a year or 2 years ago. Yeah. So them things that happen all the time. Still, so it happens all the time and people get penalized for it. You know, try to show up your opponent.
Embarrassing. Simple as that. So showboating is different from beating the opponent and scoring. That's different.
During the run-up.
So don't make the thing sound like showboating. We know what showboating is. We are Jamaican. Catch ball in a shirt and I'll throw it in the back of your neck and all. Your opponent will come and you juggle the ball and thing and you laugh off of them. That's showboat. That's a completely different thing from using your skill and passing somebody.
Put out him belly and drop it and left it on the ground, man. And see goalkeeper next, man. And the way you have to go up with someone, make him save it. You see it? But you don't need to pile him and cut him and then you turn back. That is not it. That was not your idea, you know. That is when you got personal now. That is when you're not doing nothing for your team or your teammate.
So let me give you a next thing, right? The other part of it is also important, because remember, you have players like Hagler who the world will tell you you can't play. At that time, natural style. For run you down and buck you down. Man, I will say that is unsporting like. But that's a theme style. So should we allow that? Should we allow people to tackle people like old Hagler? Boom! Uncle gone. Should we allow that? Because of theme style. He might win the ball, you know. But he might knock you out. Should we allow that? You can't allow that because it's unsporting, man, like. So on the other side, it is right. Both of them you have to deal with.
Mark Hagler Wilson was an enforcer. He was just that type of player. Mark Hagler Wilson was just a different species, you know, brother. What? Yes, my Mark Agla Wilson was the alien, brother. What me see down the arena, me can never forget one time we go to the arena, go to a match at the yard. Me see Byron Earl, when how are you tell him man the dribbler man, mark up rat man. Put a glove on him neck, on him foot man, all fours man, have him a walk like dog man, and we drop 2 goals man about the first 5 minutes man. And war down arena man. War down pan the from field, brother. A police have yes out there now. Match up the fast with it. I tell you.
Walter boy, give him Walter boy when Walter would pay for on it. I think he give him a shift up at the national stadium there. He man tear off the whole of the thing there for the stadium track. I reach up my cycle track for the concrete, yeah, man, with a raid. I think
brother, too fast. Too fast and furious, man.
Well,
the man they come, man. You feel this boy, this brother, you know.
Well,
to get rid of this brother, because brother come.
Well, on the party, because we have Demo just joined but the show. People, let me just tell you, we're going to close in a little while, right? It's still Super Friday, you know, and we still only have 4 super chats and super stickers combined for the day. We need 6 more, and we're about to close. So in the next 10 minutes, please make sure. All right? You know?
Mine will come.
Yeah. Demo! Hold on, Gunners, boss. Demo, you're there. Go ahead. Your time. What do you have to say on this matter?
No. Sorry, me jump back in minds, man. Because I know you want close. But I see people in the comment section that say, South American game I get fight out and they want like what kind of nonsense? Like I don't understand. Anthony are the only South American there in the Premier League. Are you alone I get fight out?
I just give the man Rafinha. You know, say Vinicius Junior.
Like sometimes I don't understand. Like I don't understand when people mind in brother.
The man Martinelli. I've never heard that. Martinelli done Trent. I don't hear nobody come out say nothing.
Exactly, the thing ridiculous, man. They must say they must try fight out South American football. That makes sense. The best player in the world right now, Lionel Messi, and nobody can dribble like him. Like, I don't understand.
Bernardo Silva every week I done 3, 4, and 5 man. I don't hear nobody talk about show. I don't understand.
It's ridiculous. But here's my thing, and I not really agree with CC, but Mega said this. I think schools have a little agenda against him because as soon as he came into the league, Anthony, you know, him start calling him a one-trick pony, and it seemed like him have him under a microscope, like everything that he does, he might come and talk about it. So from the start of since he came into the league, it seemed like say, you know, him have like an agenda against him. Personally, that's how it looked to me.
That is what I think. I think there are some of these English pundits, right? Like you can't listen to them. Like people watch schools play football and think them intelligent. You know, some of them not finish school people.
Exactly.
I don't really want to say that. Some of them man where you see, some of the people them where you listen to, them not finish school. They're not brighter than you. Them just play football professionally. You understand me, Demo?
Yeah.
I tell a man the other day in the Demo, a man say, listen, most of the youth them will come from out of South America or a certain part of the world. We grow up in these academy and start out from 5, 6, 7, 8 years old in these academy. Them not get no whole heap of education, school book and them thing there, because I train them to play ball, to play the sport where they want them to play.
No, man. What I say, point is that the people. No, man. What I'm saying is that the people, right, who are on like Sky Sports and all of those sports channels talking about some of the players, they are just former players. It don't mean that them intelligent and smarter than me and you. So not everything what them say, you have to go take and like because they are just pundits. That's what the caller was saying. And a lot of times them Jamie Carragher, the Paul Scholes, the one from Arsenal when he a beer rum them man they used to drink when them play ball, brother.
Yeah, but my bigger point is even though I think he has an agenda against Anthony per se, that, like I say, him probably don't, but that's just so I see it, right? For me, it's like me just watch the game, you know, and it's like I see Anthony do these things, like him do it to Ajax though and whatnot, right? But I always see him do these things like him just do it see it, because most of the times it no lead to anything. And so I was watching the game, And while he was spinning like a gig, I don't remember who the player was. Was it Casemiro or whatever? Drag a defender wide so he could pass the ball. The pass was misplaced. And so the people who are defending him are saying that it's because he was there spinning that is what created the space for him pass the
Pass was
ball.
there before him
But
start spin.
but a Casemiro drag the man with him run. Right? Casemiro run and the defender go with him and so the space open up for him pass the ball. But for me, like me I watch it, I mean, like the defender just stand up and watch the man a spin in a man's man. The man did a spin, he spin 2 times and the defender just like him a jockey. And I watch him a spin like it not lead up to nothing. And it's like me see, me remember Arsenal in their play. Like me see the man the 65 step over and Tommy Asu just watch him and him just pass the ball back. I mean, like, so we do all of them step over there for boss for you get a little reeling. Like, me not understand. It never lead to nothing when we see him do all of them fandangles. Right? So, I mean, me not gonna say it's showboating. Me no want to get into that. But for me personally, me I watch him and I say, boss, what you do? Like, it not lead up to nothing. What you do? You know? And so, like, them say Ten Hag say, if it's not leading up to anything, there's no end product to it, boss, nobody do it. You know what I mean? Like, me never get the spin, me get the 65 step overs, like, me just not get it, boss. So, yeah, just my thing that. But there's nobody fighting out no South American.
Yeah, and fighting out a Brazilian and
Me
you
see Firmino roll over ball and a back heel it for Salah assist and all of them something there. Nobody now saying a showboating because it lead to a goal. You know what I mean? Like,
I watch
it's really
Bernardo
ridiculous.
Silva every week, a dismissed player. Easy like Sunday morning. Missy Gabriel Martinelli do it. Missy Gabriel Jesus beat 3-4 players. Me see it. Me no hear nobody I say let's cut out that. Missy Saint Maxima do it every week.
Yes, sir.
So me no hear nobody talk about let's get this out. That is not the thing, man. Big up Demo. Piney.
Yeah.
Finish up your thing.
Yeah, man, bless
yeah. What you have to say?
I hate that, man.
I hate that. All right, Demo, respect.
They are going to watch the baseball and I go and see what I go in the game at the drop of stage. So.
All right, yeah, man. All right, bless up. How the next game did go?
Never watch no basketball. Me out the street I deal with something. Me not too long coming.
All right, bless it. All right, cool.
No, listen. All right, bless up.
So, people, let me say it again. There's no agenda out there by Europeans to kill Samba football. Number one. I am sure sports don't share that opinion. Using skill in football is different from showboating in football. Number two. In professional football, it is not recommended that people showboat. Number three. Number four. Not everyone who is on television, who speaks about the sport and who played it at a high level is intelligent enough to communicate rationally and sensibly. So when you hear stuff, don't run with it. Analyze it for yourself. Make sure that it makes sense. And then you take it on, even if you hear it from me. Don't just hear something from somebody and because they have a name, you run with it. Those are the 4 things I want to leave with you. All right? I want you to big up yourself. Have a safe night. I want you to check in tomorrow to all the schoolboy games going on. Watch them. EPL and CVM TV tomorrow morning as well. All right? Aston Villa, Newcastle. Watch the game. I am management. I want to thank Stan Cranky for coming on. Demo, CC, the callers, right? Cranky, big up yourself. You understand me? CC, big up yourself. Everybody, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the night. You understand me? Remember to hit the like button. If you have not yet subscribed, please ensure that you subscribe to the platform. For those who you watch, you never made a comment, you just watch the whole thing. A lot of respect. You understand me? At this time is when we normally say we are over and we are OUT out of here.
Yo, watch about dog, SK New Erdis, the body out there, Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocherase, Galtigo Bay, everywhere. I Am Sure Sports, check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like, ha. Yeah, someone on for the food from young, from where they knee height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.